Good evening, folks, and welcome to my Works of Art Part 2. Now, a while back, I did a video showing off some of my artwork, and I figured I'd do another one, show off a little more stuff, have a little fun with you guys, showing a little different side of me, Alright, so let's get started. This one here, I call it the sex pot. Okay, and this one here, I didn't come up with this character, but this is a character from the comic Double Impact. I might have went a little bit too far in the bust area there, but if you guys have ever seen that comic book, it's really not too far off, actually. But I think it's a fun comic, and yeah, this was freehand. I didn't create the character, but this is a freehand drawing. Alright, this one here, this is actually a drawing of my niece I did a long time ago. And this one here is a cartoon drawing I did a long time ago. I did this when I was in college. Now, I'm a big fan of like Tom and Jerry, so I figured I'd make kind of my stab at that type of humor. I think Tom and Jerry is like the funniest cartoon of all time, honestly. So this is kind of my take on that type of style of cartooning. And this here is this is a picture of Bruce Lee. One of my heroes growing up as a child. Absolutely an icon. I used to love watching all the old martial arts movies from like the 70s and stuff, and in the 80s, of course. And I always loved Bruce Lee. I really looked up to him as a role model. This here, as you guys may or may not know, I went to school for advertising, design, and visual communications. So this is actually a magazine that exists in Florida. It's like one of those local magazines you might find, like a free magazine you find at the record store or something. But I did do this drawing of Danzig, and this was actually a scratchboard drawing. So I kind of designed the cover, kind of like this is how the cover is, the basic layout, kind of how is how they do it. But I made it my version, using my artwork on there. And this here was like my design for a poster for a heavy metal band coming to town. I got the name. I kind of was inspired by the movie Misery, the Stephen King movie, because you know how the in the movie the guy is a novelist and he writes these books called Misery, like the character is called Misery, and so I came up with Misery's Child I think that's kind of a cool name for a band. Now this picture is actually the girl from White Zombie. Sean Zelt was the bass player for White Zombie. So I kind of manipulated the photo on Photoshop, made it all cool and stuff. Did some drawing, like drew on some of the designs on her jacket and stuff like that. It's kind of cool, I thought. And this here is probably my favorite drawing that I've ever done. But I can't say it was an original. This actually was a Michelangelo sketch that he did. Yeah, so And I really did all I could to make it look natural and authentic. And I felt like I did a pretty good job, you know. Actually, I feel like it kind of does look like it could have been made that long ago, you know. It does have that old feel, and, you know, I just always loved that sketch, and I really love it. This is my favorite work of art that I've ever done. And, alright guys, so I got a real fun one for you guys. That's you horror lovers out there. This is something I did when I was a child. And it's called The Battle of the Horrors. So way before they had Freddy versus Jason, I put them all together in one comic book. You got Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. So I was just a little kid, and even then I loved horror. So you have, like, I started out with the scene from Halloween 4, you know, where the girl puts on the clown outfit and stabs her stepmother. So here's picking up from there. So Michael kills her, and, you know. And here, meanwhile, we see Freddy Krueger in hell, and he wants to take on Jason and stuff. And here, Michael's coming to town, you know. So there's a dream taking place with Freddy, and then now Michael's getting involved in the dream. And here we have Pinhead getting involved. Here we have Jason. Yeah, so I tried to bring them all together in one story. Now we have Pinhead taking on Jason. Pinhead sends the hook things on him, the meat hooks, into Jason, and Jason just tosses them and tosses the box and throws the meat hooks into Pinhead, killing him. So, the Battle of the Horrors. I did this when I was just a little kid, and I just thought you guys might enjoy that. Should do an updated version of that someday. Alright guys, that's it for my Works of Art Part 2. Thank you for joining me. This is Sean Patrick Erschen signing off.